I'm sharing a reading experience. I took down notes from Flashes from the Eternal Semaphore by Leo J. Muir, and I'm sharing them with you now. The semaphore is a lighthouse beacon. I hope you listen and receive something worthwhile from this. Remember, these are just my notes, not necessarily a report of what the book is about, and might not even be the words or thoughts of the author. Rather, these are notes that I gleaned or I thought about while reading. These notes are what caught my interest because the ideas expanded my knowledge or made me think, reflect, or ponder in some way. This video might inspire you to read what I did. It's my hope that you'll search from the best books and gain information and ideas to help you to become a better person. The more you read, the better you'll think. And the better you think, the more you'll be able to face life's challenges successfully. Number one, work hard. A German proverb says, the hard is the good. The pursuit of easy things makes people weak. It follows the path of least resistance and makes rivers and people crooked. Excellent requires pain and labor. Out of pain and labor come growth and achievement. Out of indolence and irresponsibility come decay and debility. Genesis 3 tells us life's thorns and thistles surround us, and we'll only eat by the sweat drenched work. It's unfortunate that people have been taught to regard this proclamation as a curse, when really it's the foremost blessing of creation. Indeed, the key principle to all blessings, because it makes people strong enough to succeed. People never excel when they pursue easy things. Proverbs 6 through 8 says, go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. The ant has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in the summer and gathers its food at harvest. Herbert Kaufman echoed this sentiment with the phrase, an unearned dollar is a fool maker. Today, there are too many people seeking easy things and obtaining them. Too many people are getting something for nothing. There are too many parasites, cuckoos, sycophants, and promoters. We're all born blossom planters. We anticipate the results even before we have begun the task. Before we have planted our seeds, our eyes long for the bright petals, and our nostrils crave the rich fragrance of the blooming flowers. Planting, cultivating, and caretaking are necessary steps, of course, but they seem slow and arduous. In doing these arduous steps, we walk by faith. The easiness of simply buying the flowers without the meaningful effort enfeebles us. Our flowers would be less fulfilling since we only value things we work hard for. Little effort means little value. The pursuit of easy things makes people weak. Number two, be disciplined. Da Vinci said, you will never have a greater or lesser dominion than that over yourself. Success is moving courageously towards a goal. It has been said, great minds have great purposes, others have wishes. Great purposes demands and endow strong minds. Wishes need only weak minds. It is futile to command oneself towards impossible or disproportionate ends. However, nature never pays an unearned account. The path must be straight and narrow, with the way of honor, the way of industry, of moderation, simplicity, and virtue. Obstacles must not obstruct. John Bunyan wrote the classical book Pilgrim's Progress in prison. Despite what circumstances you find yourself in, you'll never have a greater or lesser dominion than that over yourself. Number 3, seek joy in the ordinary. You will fail to find happiness in the pursuit of wealth, luxury, and pleasure. Man is that he might have joy. Without joy, life is a failure and a disappointment. Plutarch stated, "The man who first brought ruin upon the Roman people was he who pampered them with handouts and amusements." Socrates stated, "Contentment is natural wealth, luxury, artificial poverty." Edward Young said, "On the soft bed of luxury, most kingdoms have expired." Edward Bulwer Lytton gave us this proverb, "We lose the peace of years when we hunt for the rapture of moments." In contrast, Lord Hoyton said, "Daily duties and daily bread are the sweetest things of life." Jacob Cope writes, "We enjoy ourselves only in our work, in our doing, and our best doing is our best enjoyment." The ordinary is vital, the extraordinary unessential. The ordinary is enduring, dependable, and wholesome. Somewhere we have read of a land flowing with milk and honey. That is indeed a choice land, for milk and honey is more dependable than mayonnaise and Heinz 57. Of all of nature's gifts, health is the most ordinary. Only ignorance and excess can rob people of that treasure. Wise nature knows that health is the foundation of joy. Excess is the enemy of joy. A person with educated bowels will outclass the person with educated brains. Why does desire fail? Why is the keen relish of appetite dulled? Why does zeal run out of breath? Why does love lose its alluring sweetness? Excess. Desire fails when appetite gives way to engorgement. When determination turns to obsessive extremism. When love burns itself up with passion. The golden rule of enjoyment is nothing in excess. Prodigals lack the prudence to acquire what they have the power to enjoy, while misers lack the power to enjoy what they have the prudence to acquire. Neither takes the way of the ordinary, and both are expressions of excess. 15th century English composers Alain said, "No violent extreme endures." Where does daily joy dwell more abundantly than at the dinner table, when appetites are keen, at sleep when bodies are tired, or in the bath after a long, arduous day? Every day the sun throws its flaming banner across the sky. Every spring blooms, summer greens, autumn colors, and there is brilliance in the summer frost-covered tree. Rejoice in daily labor, comradeship of friends and neighbors, the love of spouse and children, and the bliss and quietude of the home. Joy dwells in the ordinary. Number 4, check your words. Longfellow said, "Silence is a great peacemaker." Fortunate is he who can keep his speech under control. Those who are most truly sound and deliberate are slow to arrive at opinions and slower still to express them. Marquis de Halifax said, "True merit is like a river. The deeper it is, the less noise it makes." At the base of power lies knowledge, which is a stern check to the tongue. The greater the knowledge, the fewer words required to express it. If knowledge bridles the tongue, ignorance surely unleashes it. Noise always has been the armor plate of mental emptiness and the headgear of arrogance. The heart is the arbiter of our words. The cheapest and meanest emotions of the heart command the freest use of the powers of speech. Gossip, conceit, ill tempered, and lewdness all have a flippant tongue. On the other hand, gratitude, joy, and sorrow chokes the voice and leaves only tears to bear its message. Clarity and wisdom utters cautious thoughts in the briefest proverbs. True greatness of the heart does not require the endorsement of loud and clever speech. It's good to practice self-examination, to take stock of the heart. It is well to know what to master. Trace your betraying words back to your heart and scrutinize the emotions that set them forth. Thus, only can you achieve the instructions of Socrates: know thyself. Self knowledge, self judgment, self reproof are the hammer, anvil, and forge in the workshop of character. Number 5, strive for a higher way. The severest penalty nature ever imposed is corruption. There is no condition more remorseful than the result of the depraved will and an atrophied conscience in the pursuit of the way of the flesh. As Richard Baxter put it, he that lives in the kingdom of sense shall die in the kingdom of sorrow. The initial allure of sense is crafty and beguiling. The allure challenges your personal courage and bids you to match it. Its vaunting words assure you with things such as, "No one will ever know." Then encourages you with, "You should try everything at least once," with the excuse that everyone is doing it. We seem indifferent to these evil assurances, yet Alexander Pope reminds us that vice is a monster so frightfully mean as to be hated needs but to be seen, yet seen too oft, familiar with her face. First we endure, then pity, then embrace. We will find ourselves floating down one of two rivers, one bound for the sea of destruction, and the other bound for the ocean of everlasting life. Along the river your craft will move. Do you think you can proceed down a river and avoid the sea at the end of it? Galatians 6:7 says, "Be not deceived, for whatever man sows, he shall also reap." An old English proverb put it this way: "If you lie with dogs, you rise with fleas." The person who views themselves as an enlightened devil's advocate feels no need of repentance. They instead feel the need to ridicule, defile, and subvert age old laws. Those who feel they can pursue pleasures at a low cost with easy payments find themselves with a bill they cannot pay. With this bill comes undying worms in the form of corrupt morals, self condemnation, a depraved will, a voiceless conscience, a debauched life, and a faithless and godless soul. To countervail this wayward trip to the sea of destruction, we have been given a reproving conscience, a fabric of modesty, and shame as our soul's implements of welfare against aggressive passions. They are the monitors of mankind, the oracles of God. Solomon told us in Proverbs 4:23, "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." Open your heart to counsel and read attentively to the solemn lessons revealed in the experiences of mankind. Cultivate a sensitive blush and a stern moral sense. Cling to your modesty as to your life, for it is nature's rampart around the citadel of virtue. When the rampart is scaled, life's sacred treasure is impaled. When you approach any pleasure, count the cost of it. That pleasure is ruinous when it increases the strength and authority of your body over your mind. Aspire to those things which gratify your higher self worth. Remember, noble thoughts are your best friends, while depraved thoughts are your worst enemies. Train yourself to practice reverence rather than a worldly jeering of long standing stable themes. Use obedience as a vehicle of freedom and growth. If alike things did not unfailingly reproduce themselves, every hope of success and achievement would be in vain. The principle of laws is the instrument by which people obtain happiness and success through its mastery. Despite disability and physical limitations, William Ernest Henley said, "It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." It is the deliberate business of human society to discover laws and to instruct and guide mankind in following them. Albert Hubbard declared, "Every misery and every crime is evidence that nature's laws have been transgressed." Do you think you can violate and transgress eternal laws and principles of happiness and success and then avoid the failure that follows? The fool figures he can cheat the law and escape from its penalty, while the wise recognize the law and obey it. Hence, it follows that the highest token of human intelligence is obedience to the law. Samuel understood this truth when he told Saul, "It is better to obey than sacrifice." Obedience is the vehicle of freedom and growth. Obedience doesn't so much prepare you for heaven tomorrow as much as it assures you of happiness today. When advice is poured into the human mind, some minds will absorb much, others little. For some, advice will be unpalatable and they will be determined not to relinquish their error. Others will test the advice by application, prove it by experience, and then vitalize it as an example to others. Frequently, while traveling, I see maintenance crews replacing and renovating worn roads, signals, and signs along the highway. Likewise, I find it necessary to renew and repair those moral and spiritual beacons which chart the highways along my life. Beacons of wisdom are set up along life's highway so you as well can find safe guidance for your feet. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, fare thee well.